Hey gang, it's Uncle Travis coming to you from the Trousdale area of Nashville, over on like the west Brentwoodish side. We're doing just a quick little spring cleanup here, but I wanted to take a minute and show you guys a really cool install that Derek and I did back in 2018, I believe. It's sort of a rain garden. What is a rain garden, you might be asking? Well, this homeowner had, I don't know if you can tell, I'm in sort of a low area. The yard slopes up here and it kind of slopes back up to the homeowner's house. And same thing on my left and right. It slopes down into this just low-lying area. And they didn't want to bring in a bunch of dirt. They wanted to do something interesting, have some plants in here. But most plants don't like to have their roots just soaked in water all the time, especially here in Nashville when springtime it's pretty rainy, pretty wet most of the time. Not today, but normally. So what we did was we kind of put our heads together and Derek came up with a really cool idea. We came in and graded this section out, kind of created what's called a swale, or just a low-lying area, a bit of a bowl here. And then we simply just installed some water-loving plants, or at least some plants that don't care if their root systems are constantly saturated. Biggest of those in this install being Mr. River Birch here. These things, the river birch isn't just a clever name. You'll see them right next to rivers and waterways and things like that. We've got some sage over here doing the same thing, kind of on the edge. Your low areas out here in the middle a little bit more. Got some grasses over there and some sort of lily that hasn't bloomed yet, so I can't totally identify it. And then we just went down with pine straw as a mulch on this because the heavy rains are going to wash it down. You've got your mulch on sort of an incline like that over there, and maybe there's runoff from your neighbor or several neighbors, and it will literally just wash the mulch right off the ground. And in a scenario like this, it would wash all that mulch from both sides, well, all four sides really, down into the middle, and you'd have a great big pile of mulch in here. Pine straw tends to not get washed down with heavier rainwater. And then we simply just plugged a couple of rocks in here to look kind of like a dry creek bed, but mostly just aesthetics. And whenever you can play with a couple of rocks, it's always a good day. And speaking of rocks, I had one other thing over here I wanted to show you. They also had a bit of an issue with water getting down into their crawl space running in through here. So we just took some rocks they had on site, kind of did just a little dry stack. We used just some waterfall foam to kind of seal it off and keep that water from getting down in there. We wanted to stop the stuff from seeping in on the sides and keep their crawl space nice and dry. So there you have it. If you've got a section like that in your yard that's constantly filling with water and kind of stays marshy, don't fight it. Just go with it. Give us a shout. Give us a follow. Like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend, tell a neighbor. Uncle Trav, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.